Yo, Spacey, how's the music coming?
Horrible, Reed. There's this new artist that literally plays one key and gets millions of views.
Oh yeah, that dude's a genius. There are many hobbies people can pick up over the course of their lives. Some weird and esoteric, others are generally reserved for aging moms. It's hard to feel sad when you're doing something you love, but it's very common to have your gripes with the craft bubble up to the surface. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How to hate your hobbies. It's pretty commonplace for artists to feel disdain towards their own work and others who make similar creations. It's not that they hate the art, it's that the process has become too personal for them, so they see some of the shortcuts others take. It tends to make an artist who's versed in the medium not look at the picture as a whole, but to look at it for the techniques and practices that were used to make it. And rightfully so, it's why AI slop is so reviled in the artistic spaces. Because even if it's a perfectly executed piece, the meaning and mastery of the professional wouldn't be present. It's merely a vague representation of skill and discipline. Kind of like a machine wearing the skin of 1,000 humans. But this isn't about AI slop. Go check out my non-consensual AI video to hear more about that. I'm mostly talking about when you as an artist look at a piece and get angry because it was something quickly thrown together and it gets super popular. I've seen this plenty of times. Someone makes a quick joke and it blows up. And then you get all the gripers coming out of the woodwork to hate on the person for basically nothing. So what classifies as overanalysis? I believe it's anytime someone goes way too far in depth to critique a piece of media. It would be like hating an artist for the way he sketches. It's not really a valid criticism unless it detracts from the final product. But in most cases, it's only other artists that'll know that the guy is going against the grain. Another common one is revolving around the death of the author. This is an old idea that pertains to the author's intentions not mattering and focusing on the reader's interpretation of their work. Personally, I completely disagree with this idea. The numbers on a sign were put there with intention. A 9 doesn't become a 6 just because you're looking at it upside down, and so do the words that an author wrote. They were laid there with intention, and to misinterpret this work is a disservice to the artist that made it. Every art piece you see is created because someone had a vision. So why do we overanalyze our media? Is it just boredom because nobody's making anything new, so we have to watch retrospectives on why all the characters in a show were dead the whole time? I don't think so. I think this mostly stems from our want for a deeper meaning behind things we like. We have to pull grandeur from it, something to set ourselves apart from the rest of the flock. To say that I get it in a way you plebs would never understand. And I get it. I like to feel like I'm getting more out of the art I consume, but emphatically claiming that your crackpot theories are gospel is heretical to the very nature of art. So where does this analysis come from? I think in some ways it comes in cycles. Sometimes we'll be in a spot in our lives where we're looking for meaning or something deeper, and we'll find it even if it's not real. You see this piece? The artist made it to represent you and your life. It definitely had nothing to do with his own life story that you're also distorting to fit your own meaning and narrative. Honestly, this all comes from making a connection and wanting to maintain a connection even if one doesn't exist. I found the same bug haunting me when I would overanalyze the works of Lil Darky or Aesop Rock. Both are artists that I respect deeply for their message and creativity, but to say that anything they're talking about could be up to my own interpretation is laughable. So who is this going to hurt the most? I think it's a bit strange when someone finds out that their constant overanalysis is harming the creators that they supposedly love. It's a death by 1,000 cuts, I suppose. The creator is able to see everything you write, and usually people aren't throwing valid criticism at these works of art. It's usually some vapid remark made by a pessimistic glue eater. Sometimes it gets so bad that people aren't complaining about a single screenshot of a game or movie. It doesn't feel like they enjoy the hobby. It feels like they want to see it drown. So when does it need to be brought up? I believe analyzation is something that needs to be done by the creatives working on a project and their immediate peers. It's not like I'm saying to accept something if it's terrible, but I'm saying you should be looking at the whole picture. You can't always judge an art piece from the trailer or thumbnail. You need to take it in as a whole without nitpicking.
You know, Reed, I think I figured it out. I ran this old synth through a tin can, remixed it, and then threw in the sound of a car crash for that live leak timbre. Yeah.
Damn, that sounds amazing. Let me hear. Ooh, yeah. I like that. We need to figure out how we can work to stop ourselves from getting mired in this loop. I think the best way of going about this is having a slightly open mind and maybe putting yourself in someone else's shoes. You always gotta remember, not everything's made for everyone. It's best to keep yourself from looking too deep. Not everything has meaning. Sometimes a door is just a door. In a sense, it's good to have a personal connection to a work. At least up until you're hating everything in a medium because it's not like the one thing you like. The overanalyzation of your hobbies and mediums can cause you to have disdain for them. It seems to take over in almost every medium. But if we work to quash our biases, we'll usually find some solace in the media we would have otherwise shot down. It's important to keep your hobbies fun instead of making it like a 10-hour Rainbow Six match. In conclusion, overanalyze these nuts, eat a cinder block.